Hello my YouTube friends, welcome to another episode of Magnum Videos, and tonight we're going to talk about what everybody's talking about, COVID-19. Stick around. As you know, this coronavirus has been in the news for the last at least week, maybe 2 weeks, because the market has dropped about 35% in the last 2 weeks. That's a totally different topic. I wanted to talk about my trip to the grocery store today. A lot of cities, I think New York, and the state of California and Illinois and maybe Florida have done a isolation technique, a shelter-in-place technique. They're telling people to stay in your homes, and we've been told that too. I mean, it's not an order, but we've been encouraged not to get around other people. And there's a couple of things I wanted to mention about that. First of all, this thing kind of came out of nowhere and surprised us, and I mean, I hadn't heard anything about it until it got on the news and started staying on the news all of the time. Supposedly it started in China. The media has been down on Trump because he calls it the Chinese virus. It is the Chinese virus. It came from China. And the testing that they're doing, I would like your opinion on that, because I have mixed feelings about the testing. I don't see the value of it. I don't see how it's going to have a very good return on investment from the cost of all those tests when they're only good for a very short time. They could be only good for a very short time. For instance, if I go to get a test and I have no coronavirus in my body at all, and they do the swab and put it in the bottle and send it off to the lab, and if it turns out that swab is negative, that only means that I don't have coronavirus in me at the time they did the swab. Now, when I leave that office and get in my car, if I stop at Walmart or Aldi's or Price Chopper, Hy-Vee, post office, wherever, I can come in contact with the coronavirus at that point, and regardless of what that test says, I am going to test positive if I get tested again. So if that test comes back negative, that's a false result, because at the time it was taken, it was negative, but within 5 minutes it can change to positive. So I don't understand the value of spending all that time and all that money and all that effort on testing people. I just don't see it. If you do, leave a comment, let me know. Maybe you can convince me that it's a good idea. So anyway, Rosie had a list of things that we needed, and so I went out. I started at Aldi's. We usually buy 1 pound frozen chubs of ground beef at Aldi. They didn't have any the last time I was in there, and they didn't have any today. I usually buy club crackers there. It's a fairly good sized box, and it's like, I don't know, $1.69 or something like that. They didn't have any today. So I wasn't able to get those 2 items. Jell-O, they didn't have any Jell-O. Bread, no bread. So I got a couple of things that were on the list. Cottage cheese. Yes, they did have cottage cheese, so I got that, and I got some yogurt, so we had that. So I left there, I went to Walmart. They had 2 loaves of bread on the shelf. And who is eating all this bread? I mean, are we eating a lot more bread than we used to? Because I'm not finding bread anywhere. They had 2 loaves of bread on the shelf. I took one. I left the other one for somebody else. No, they didn't have any pork chops. They did have the baked beans in the small can. That's just the right amount for Rosie and I. But they didn't have any hot dogs. So I got the baked beans, didn't get any hot dogs. They didn't have any ground beef at all. No pork chops. So I went from there to Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee had pork chops, but a very limited supply. So I did buy a package with 3 pork chops in it. The club crackers, they were a smaller box than the Aldi's, and they were like $3.99, and I knew Rosie would choke on those if she knew that they cost that price, so I skipped those. No hot dogs. They had Jell-O, so I think I got the Jell-O there. If I told you earlier that I got it at Aldi's, that was wrong, because they didn't have it. Cottage cheese came from Aldi's. Anyway, I came back. I was gone 3 hours. Rosie left a message on my phone, and she says, "Where are you? I'm worried. Are you okay?" And I didn't realize I'd been gone that long, but the stores were very crowded, and I feel like a hunter-gatherer. I'm out trying to look for all these little pieces of stuff here and there that I can put together and make a meal out of. I'd like to hear your comments of your adventures with this coronavirus thing. Anyway, going back to the stock market. I think our retirement funds have dropped about 35% in the last 2 weeks. Hopefully they will bounce back. And I believe that Trump is right when he says that the market's going to come roaring back because it's got a lot of pent-up energy that's just ready to drive the market up to where it was before. So I take hope that that's true, because we Americans with 401ks or IRAs or any mutual fund investments really took a hit the last couple of weeks. It's not pretty. Wash your hands multiple times a day. Anytime you touch anything outside of your house or your specific environment that you've been in, wash your hands. Wash your kitchen surfaces. When you go to the store and you come home, take your shoes off at the door. Wash your hands as soon as you come in the house. Because that's a good practice whether there's a coronavirus or not. So Dr. Broadway is telling you what you should do here. And it's a totally different world out there right now, and hopefully this will get better. It may end up getting a little bit worse before it gets better, from what I'm hearing. But keep the faith. Have faith in our leaders, because I believe that this administration knows what they're doing, and they're doing everything the right way, I think. Except for the testing, I'm not sure what value that's going to provide other than statistics. So, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're not going crazy, stir crazy from being in the house all the time. I am going to be doing a video later this week about a new lawnmower. Since I don't have one, I have to go get one, and I'm kind of excited about what I'm looking at. So I'll give you an update on that as soon as I make that purchase. And think that's everything I wanted to tell you right now. So until I speak with you again, and even after that, you stay focused.